Hey, this is Jeff. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this video. This is another video in my Discovering Kelowna series. Today I'm in North Glenmore and I'm going to explore a few neighborhood parks in North Glenmore and then hopefully get up over that hill you see behind me into part of the to part of the Glenmore Highlands and see some nice little parks around some nice little lakes. So I'm about 35% through my challenge to see all 203 city parks in Kelowna in 1 year. Let's go see some more. So here I am in my first park for the day. This is the Glenmore Road North Green Space. And that name about says it all. As far as I can tell, this is just a really big empty lot. It's got grass, but that's all I can see. It's got a fence around it. So I tell you, I expect the people in the neighborhood probably bring their dogs here. It's an undeveloped space. It's funny, on the city's official map, it doesn't even show up as an official park, but it's listed on the website as a park, and it's on Google Maps as a park. So because it's got a fence around it, I suspect people bring their dogs here to run around off leash, whether that's technically permitted or not. I'm not sure what else people do here. Maybe it's a field you can run and play. It does have a big storm drain in the middle of it, so it probably also functions as a collection spot for floodwaters if such should accumulate, and then it'll run off to the west of here. That's that way, towards Brant Creek, right? So we're just a little bit north of Millard Glen Park. If you saw my video on the Brant Creek linear park and the parks along there, they run down the middle of Glenmore Valley, and this one is just not actually on the creek, but of course the waters from here will go to the creek. So I walked the length of the park. I saw a lot of grass. As you can see, it has snowed here since my last video. It snowed yesterday, but it's not very thick on the ground, and I was looking around and all I could see was grass. So if you're looking for a large field to play on in North Glenmore, you should come to the North Glenmore, or the Glenmore Road North Green Space. So here I am at my second park of the day. This is Naito Park. So again, it's named after Naito Court. It's a short street that's beside it. It is a neighborhood park. As you can see behind me, it has a playground. This is at the south end. At the north end, kind of in front of me, is a asphalt pad with a basketball hoop at one end and another one of those asphalt mounds, it's kind of a square mound with ramps on four sides. Until then on the map, it is designated a skate park. We saw one of those before at one of the parks along Brants Creek Linear Park, if you remember that, one of the Glen parks. We saw one of those, and I didn't know what it was, but I've since had it confirmed that it's a skateboarding feature, as I suspected. So, Naito Park, this is very close to Dr. Knox Middle School, and looks like a great park for people in this area. So here I am in my third park of the day. This is Wyndham Park. So as you can see behind me, the dominant feature of this park is a walkway that leads from Wyndham Crescent, which is in front of me, to Glenmore Road, which you can see in the background. So it's a lovely walkway. It's wide, it's got plane trees on either side, it's got grass. So it's definitely more deluxe than your average walkway, which is just an asphalt path between two chain link fences. But I think that the feature dominates the park so much that it's hard for me to see this as anything but a fancy walkway. Obviously it's bigger than a pocket park. It's bigger than a walkway. It's you could totally have a picnic here in the summertime. I'm sure it's great, but I think if I were in this neighborhood, I would probably use it mostly to get from one point to another. Hey, so here I am in my fourth park of the day. This is Terrace Hill Park. So I have now started climbing into the foothills of the Glenmore Highlands. I passed a big sign saying that we were on the road to Wyldon. Near as I can tell, these neighborhood names are invented by real estate people to sell houses. I'm more of a geographer, so I'm trying to make some kind of sense of them in a geographical sense. But I think we could say we're in the Glenmore Highlands now. You can see that from behind me. There's a nice view across Glenmore, across that low ridge, all the way to Ellison. The houses are bigger, the houses are more expensive, the neighborhood is newer. This park is actually really nice. They left a empty lot when developing this property, and of course here the lots are quite large, and it's got it's on a hillside, and it's got a trail winding from Terrace Hill Place at the bottom to Terrace Hill Court at the top. You can see behind me there's a playground, but other than the playground and the path, everything else has just been left the way you would see it on the hillside if there had been no development here. So I think that's great. They didn't scrape the hill off and spackle it with grass. They just, left the native grasses and the ponderosa pine trees, and it's a beautiful place. It's probably a beautiful place to climb through. When it's hot out, it probably smells amazing. So I'm very happy to have seen it, and I'd like to come back here in the summertime. So here I am in Still Pond Park. So as you can see behind me, there is a little lake. I would say it's a lake, not a pond, because it's just as large as Kathleen Lake or some of the other things we've seen. But it's another one of these mountain lakes that we've seen in the hills around Kelowna. So in this case, a neighborhood has been built around it, but this pond has been left in a park. So all the land on the east side, you can see, I'm showing you now, that's all part of the park. All on the west side, you can see behind me there, that's all actually zoned for multifamily residential. So all up in there, they're going to be building townhouses all along the road. But the pond and this trail I'm on are a long park, and it's a very nice place to go for a walk, whether it's winter or any other time of the year. So I'm having a great time. I have no doubt that this pond has been connected to the storm sewer system and is probably designated as a place to retain floodwaters from the local area. In that way, this part of the mountain has been tamed, we could say. A lot of parts of the mountain around here have been zoned for similar taming. They have residential areas marked out and park corridors for conservation purposes marked out, but most of that has not been developed yet. So this part has been developed, gives a sense of what they were planning when they marked that all out. I guess we'll see how far they get. So here I'm in the next park. This is Hidden Lake Park. So this is a neighborhood park. You can see maybe that it's sitting between two suburban streets. It's not surrounded by hedges or anything, so people on different sides can see the park from their house, see the kids playing in the playground. This playground behind me really dominates this park, so clearly it's a place for local people within a block or two to let their kids come and hang out and play. I'm only a block away from the lake, so I was just walking by, and I feel like I'm in a real suburban environment. But of course, we're up in the mountains now, and it reminds me a lot of Magic Estates. Only it's Glenmore Highlands, but it's a very similar thing. Up on the mountain, a nice little suburban area surrounded by hills and forests. It's just a really beautiful place. I'm only a block from Still Pond Park here. Where there were actually two lakes. There was the Still Pond and another lake, which on one map was called Walroy Lake, and on another is called Hidden Lake, so I don't know what that is. Ahead of me, to the north, the subdivision continues for a few blocks, and then from the end of one of the streets, you can actually get on a trail that leads north into Stevens Coyote Ridge Regional Park. So we're getting up into the northern part of Kelowna now, but I'm not going up there today. I'm going to explore this neighborhood and then head back south towards town. Here I am in my last park of the day. This is Begbie Park. So just like other parks we've seen today, like Terrace Hill, This is an empty lot, an empty piece of the territory that is very hilly. You can see behind me, the slope is quite steep here. And so it was not suitable to build houses on it. And they left it, when they designed this neighborhood, as just parkland. And as yet, it is undeveloped by the city. I'm not sure what they're planning to do with it, if anything. It might just stay as an undeveloped piece of land that you can look at from across the way, because over here you can see Hidden Lake, or Walroy Lake, and on the other side of that, over that way, is Still Pond Park. So you know, from that park you can look across the way and see this lovely patch of hillside with some grass and some trees, and it looks quite nice. You can see behind me there is a path which I am taking today, but I am 100% certain this is an unsanctioned path. No maps I've found have sanctioned this trail, but of course every patch of land around here has unsanctioned trails running through it, and I mean, it's an ethical issue which ones you take, if you take any of them. But I want to travel through this park, so I'm taking this trail today. And if you want to come and check it out, you can come check it out. But if you do take this trail, please stay on the trail. Okay, so there we go. That was our trip for today. Quite an adventure it was. I managed to emerge from the dangerous slopes of Begbie Park, the unsanctioned trail covered in snow. Man, if I had slid down that slope, there was no bank at the bottom. I would have gone right into the icy pond. And I don't need to tell you what that would have done to my phone. Hypothermia too, sure, but how would I bring you all this wonderful news of these parks? Anyway, we had a great adventure today. That was just a capper. We saw 7 parks today. We saw the North Glenmore Road Green Space, Naito Park, and Wyndham Park down in North Glenmore. Then we headed up into the Glenmore Highlands. We saw Terrace Hill Park, and we came to the beautiful Still Pond Park, a wonderful place to go for a walk, with or without a dog. And then we saw Hidden Lake Park, and finally Begbie Park. That's one to keep an eye on. What will the city do with it, if anything? I'm looking forward to finding out. I would come back to this neighborhood for a walk anytime. It's beautiful. I mean, was it just the snow? I doubt it. I think it would be beautiful in the summer too. So anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed my adventure. I hope you learned some things about Glenmore Highlands and North Glenmore. I hope you learned some things about the parks of Kelowna. And I hope I inspired you to visit parks in your area, even if it's not Kelowna. If you did like this, hit the like button, hit the notification bell if you want to get more videos from me, and subscribe to my channel. You can see lots of videos I've already done discovering the parks of Kelowna. So until next week, this is Jeff. Have a good time.